Red Bull must be on cloud 9 right now, with the way they've dismantled the rest of the competition. But the team's blatant dominance over the rest of the grid can lead to impending doom for F1 itself. And seeing as they only have themselves to compete against, the rift between Max Verstappen and Sergio Perez appears to be widening. We have a lot of Red Bull business to talk about, so let's begin. Verstappen experienced a drive shift malfunction during the qualifying session. Despite starting in the 15th position, he managed to make a comeback and secured second place as well as the fastest lap in the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. This outcome enabled him to maintain his lead by 1 point over his Red Bull teammate Sergio Perez in the championship rankings. Verstappen expressed dissatisfaction with Red Bull's issues with reliability during both the qualifying and the race, which did not sit well with 2016 world champion and Sky Sports commentator Nico Rosberg. He criticized Max Verstappen's behavior and suggested that as the current F1 champion, he should have displayed more gratitude towards Red Bull for providing him with a top-performing car. Rosberg also revealed that Verstappen had skipped a team meeting on Saturday. "It is not good to see," he told Sky Sports F1. "We were also told he skipped the team meeting on Saturday, apparently. I don't think it's a good approach or mentality so early in the season when the team has done such a brilliant job and worked so hard. I think he could be more gracious." Despite maintaining his initial lead in the championship, Verstappen expressed concerns about his drive shaft and reported experiencing vibrations at high speeds during the Sunday race. He emphasized the importance of Red Bull resolving their minor issues. He said, "I recovered to second, which is good, and in general the whole feeling in the team is happy. But personally, I am not happy. I am not here to be second, especially when you are working very hard back at the factory to come here in a good state and making sure everything is spot on. When you are fighting for a championship and it looks like it is just between two cars, you have to make sure the two cars are reliable. We have to do better. Absolutely. A cleaner weekend would be nice. We are allowed to race, so the best man will finish in front." As dominant as they have been, the conflict seems to be escalating for the two Red Bull drivers. Sergio Perez has requested a review of Red Bull's post-race communications with its drivers, hinting at his suspicion of his teammate, Max Verstappen. This is understandable, considering the events that transpired during last season's Sao Paulo Grand Prix. During the final stages of the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix on Saturday, Perez and Verstappen held the top two positions, with Perez leading by a margin of just over 5 seconds. Both drivers were instructed to control their pace and aim for 1:33 lap times. However, Verstappen opted to continue lapping in the 1:32s and did not respond to Red Bull's message. As soon as Verstappen began to reduce Perez's lead, which decreased to 4.2 seconds, Perez was instructed to increase his pace and aim for a 1:32 lap time. In response, Perez asked Red Bull if it was worthwhile to push the car given the team's reliability issues, saying they didn't need any more problems. However, Red Bull responded by telling Perez that they were still able to push the car. As the teammates prepared for the final lap, Perez held the fastest lap time and was awarded the bonus point until Verstappen claimed it from him. Although Red Bull indicated that they were not particularly concerned with the fastest lap, Verstappen claimed that he, in fact, was. Perez was displeased as Verstappen's fastest lap time resulted in him being denied the opportunity to secure his first ever P1 position in the Drivers' Championship standings. He went on to explain, saying, "2 laps from the end, they told me to keep a certain pace. They told me I had the fastest lap and to keep the pace, a certain pace," he said in the post-race press conference. "I thought the communication was the same to Max, so it's something we need to review, because I certainly got different information." Verstappen remarked that it was standard practice to inquire about the fastest lap since it is worth 1 point. The Dutch driver said, "We were first of all free to race, and of course we had a target lap time to the end, but there's a point on the line." The team principal, Christian Horner, gave his opinion on the matter. Inevitably, as Max said on the radio, the point for the fastest lap meant a great deal to him, and there was no reason for us not to let either he or Checo have a crack at it. It could be argued, as Perez seems to believe, that he was not given a fair opportunity since he had set the fastest lap time and was instructed to keep the pace. During the driver's post-race communication with Red Bull, it became apparent that Perez did not have faith in his teammates' willingness to follow the team's directives after Verstappen had moved up to second place. When Perez was instructed to aim for a 1:33 lap time, his response was, "Is Max doing the same?" Verstappen has a history of disregarding team orders and taking points away from Perez. This was evident in last year's Sao Paulo Grand Prix when Verstappen refused to yield his position to Perez, who was competing for second place in the standings, despite being instructed to do so. While nobody is conceding defeat just yet, there is a prevailing feeling that after only 2 races of the Formula One season, a protracted procession towards the inevitable conclusion of Max Verstappen and Red Bull claiming the title has begun. This is excellent news for Verstappen and his team, but F1 is unlikely to be pleased with the manner in which it is expected to unfold, as it strives to retain all of the new fans it has gained in recent years. Verstappen's comeback saw him pass Lewis Hamilton with ease, making it seem like Hamilton was driving a different car. Hamilton, who has had experience with such dominance when Mercedes had a similar advantage in the early years of the hybrid era that began in 2014, commented, "I've definitely not seen a car so fast. When we were fast, we weren't that fast. That is the fastest car I have seen, especially compared to the rest. Max came past me with some serious speed." The dominance of Red Bull and Verstappen in the upcoming races may pose a challenge for F1. Over the past few years, the sport has seen a surge in popularity, especially in the US, which is a target market for expansion and will host 3 GPs this year. However, some newer and long-time fans may not be as excited about a 23-race season, where the winner is mostly predetermined. F1's owners may feel pressure to address this issue from a commercial standpoint, but imposing a regulation change to curb Red Bull's advantage would be an unsightly, clumsy, and unfair way to handle the situation. Toto Wolff, on the other hand, has emphasized that Red Bull's success should be celebrated, not penalized. He said, "Even if it is not great for the show that the same guys win all the time, it is because they have done a good job and we haven't. We shouldn't down-talk it, because I remember hearing questions like that between 2014 and 2020. What makes the sport so special is that you need to work hard to win, and you deserve it as a matter of fact. Entertainment follows sport. It is maybe not good from the commercial side, but it is what makes F1 so special." Christian Horner said it was Red Bull's best start to a season, saying, "The team is operating at an incredibly high level throughout the organization. You don't get a result like this by just one department doing its bit." At the upper echelon of the team, it is likely that Verstappen will be the driving force. Although Perez remains optimistic about his prospects, it is difficult to envision this season culminating in a close battle between 2 contenders. But what do you think? Will Perez be able to give Verstappen a run for his money? Let us know in the comments below. And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Thanks for watching.